狂犬のレナ参上。
Hold on to this one. This is where you should decide whether or not to pick up Grisaia Phantom Trigger. Hi, my name is August and welcome to the August Tale. Today we are going to be taking a look at the second installment of the Grisaia Phantom Trigger series, the spin-off series from the original Grisaia Trilogy. And in this volume we're going to take a more in-depth look into a girl, one half gluttonous gourmet and the other a monstrous force of nature, the rabid dog Rena Fukami. Today we are going to take a look at Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 2. Continuing from the previous volume, the girls are living normally until Haruto gets a call from one of his associates for his assistance. What starts off as a normal package transfer becomes a blast from the past for Rena as she comes face to face with her little sister, a fearsome assassin who now works for the Russian Mafia. Now I believe that the first and second volume together are what you should judge your first impression of Grisaia Phantom Trigger of. The first volume was merely an introduction to the series, but this second volume is much more character focused, a strong point of its strengths and what Grisaia does best in its storytelling, while also showing off some more dynamic action scenes.
この車僕硬いよ。何やってんのよ。だから砲弾なんだってば。あ、そう。じゃああんたは下がってなさいよ。大丈夫だって。はい、くたばれ。
Now, if you liked Yuji's background as a hired assassin from the original Grisaia series, you'll get similar vibes here. While being less emotionally tragic and having considerably less incest, Rena's backstory is very much the same in mood. In fact, it ends on a positive and uplifting note. Rena is very attached to Haruto, ready to be at his beck and call as his female shooter, like a faithful dog is to their owner, one overgrown, gluttonous dog. It may seem like pure affection, but given her dangerous background, it's not as simple as you might think, especially when said gunwoman calls her owner her master. She may seem like a lively idiot, but her raw ability speaks louder than words.
死んだふりしてるのがいるかもしれないけど、ちょっと難しいかな。
Rena's aggressive power is a feat of her own, decimating enemies, but what happens when she meets an equally ferocious match? Introducing Maki, Rena's little sister. Rena and Maki might have been close together as children, but the hands of fate had different life plans for the both of them. We get to know how the girls got to where they are and how they've changed growing up, looking at their personal values, their deep desires, and their outlook on life. It's the people who've taken them in and looked after them that have had the most impact on their lives. All this together created two different people, and their differences are wonderfully expressed through their handiwork.
逃がすか。玉切れだな。どうかな。ずるいぞ。何丁持ってんだよ。あんたをぶっ殺すのに必要なだけ。そりゃきついわ。逃げんなこら。
Both of them may have gone down different paths, following radically opposing organizations, but the bonds between these girls and their handlers are fundamentally similar in nature. No matter what life throws at you, as long as you live, you have something to live for. Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 2 continues to follow the dangerous lives of the Mihama girls as they follow the path of the gun. Being much more engaging than its previous installment, this volume dives deeper into the personal stories of its lead characters and the journey they've gone through, emphasizing its relationship dynamics no matter what type it is, handler and subordinate, owner and master, or teacher and student. It's these influences that become important to a person. Phantom Trigger shows that these values are a form of inner strength and purpose, to become reasons for an individual to truly live for. I give Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 2 a 4 out of 5. Subscribe if you like the video, new content every week. For more of my thoughts, you can find me on Twitter at TheAugustTale.